14 people have died this year at Rikers Island, New York City's massive jail complex. Some have died by suicide. Others are under investigation. And that's prompted a new conversation about the conditions at Rikers. There are about 5,400 people incarcerated there, and it's really important to understand that most of them have not been convicted of a crime. They're being held there before trial, and they spend more than 300 days there on average, according to city data. The city has a plan to close Rikers in a few years, but a lot could happen between now and then. That's why former Chief Judge Jonathan Lippman penned an op-ed in the New York Times calling for changes at the facility in the meantime. Aside from his tenure as the state's top judge, he also chairs a commission on closing Rikers and improving the city's criminal justice system. We spoke this week about the crisis at Rikers, what could be done to prevent more deaths. Former Chief Judge Jonathan Lippman, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Dan.
Thank you. So we're talking about Rikers, and I just want to start with my thoughts on this situation. Something that's annoyed me about Rikers is that we have all of these state lawmakers and federal lawmakers visiting Rikers and then coming out and saying these conditions are awful, we have to do something, and then nobody does anything. And it's been months with that. So let's start there. Who should be the entity that should be trying to fix this situation at Rikers? Is it a team effort?
It is an ensemble effort, but certainly the main player is the city of New York. But of course, the governor always plays a role in these things, and the city council played a strong role in getting the approval of closing Rikers. So while it's an ensemble cast, it is basically the city of New York, which is responsible with the assistance, and the state can always make it easier to get things done. And as you notice in some of the things I put out publicly, I've asked for assistance from the state and the governor, in addition to the city taking the steps that they need to take.
So let's talk about the city first. So as you mentioned,
Sure.
Rikers is going to close in just a few years, but I think everyone can agree that we don't want the conditions at Rikers to be awful leading up to that point. So from the city perspective, what can be done there to try to improve this situation, whether it's the overcrowding, whether it's the, as you wrote in your op-ed in the Times, the mold, the disgusting conditions there. What can the city do?
Well, I think the best thing, the most important thing that they all can do, particularly the city, is to bring down the population of Rikers. Rikers is an antiquated facility. And, there are a number of steps that should be taken to do that. And among them, and just in broad-based, and we could talk in more detail on anything that you want, is one, the court's hands are tied behind their backs right now because they need 6 feet of separation when they're trying to try a case, which literally makes them use 3 courtrooms to try one case, and that is crazy. So that's an issue that we need cooperation from the state and the city. We also need there are 3 prisons, 2 of which are unoccupied at all altogether in New York City that the state owns, that could be transferred to the city so we can put people, whether it be the mentally ill who need a different kind of help, or women, put them there and get them out of Rikers. So those are the kinds of things that need to be done. And while we're doing that, as you say, we need the city administration, the de Blasio folks, and the new administration coming in, Mayor Adams, to step up the process, get the shovels in the ground, and start phasing out Rikers so that by the closing date of August 2027, we're ready to actually close it down. But you can't do that unless the replacement for Rikers is in place and can house the people who are now at Rikers.
I hope we see something happen at least. In the past few months, it's just baby steps to me. We have decreased the population just a little bit, not by too much, but it just seems like there's kind of a not appetite at the very level of actually doing things to fix Rikers. Why do you think that is?
There isn't, Dan. It's an inertia, and everyone points the finger at everybody else, and everyone says, yes, we must, and meanwhile nothing happened. But I think that the new mayor, will put some new energy into this, Mayor Adams. And I also know that the Hochul administration is on top of this. And together, we've got to move it. And Dan, the issue is you're not going to fix Rikers.
Right.
You can tinker it around the edges. You can make it a little better. But the only thing you can do right now to get rid of this danger to life, I mean, people are committing suicide left and right over there, is to get the population down, because the facility itself is so antiquated. That's why we recommend smaller, safer, more humane local jails to replace Rikers with a different culture there. You also can't put the same Rikers culture and just put it in the boroughs.
Yeah.
What you have to do is change the way we think about incarceration. What's the purpose of it? Why are we doing this? It's not to punish people, that's for sure.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you about the Court of Appeals. If people aren't familiar, the Chief Judge heads the Court of Appeals as well as the state court system. We do have a vacancy on the Court of Appeals right now that Governor Hochul is expected to fill sometime soon. What kind of person do you think should be in that position? Given the composition of the court right now, who would you like to see come in? What kind of lawyer or judge?
Well, I think it's a good question, Dan. And, you know, they do have some excellent candidates among the 7 people who were nominated. I think it needs to be someone who adds to the diversity of the court. And by the diversity, I don't necessarily mean racial, geographic. It could be all of those things. It could be the type of experience as a lawyer. So without telling the governor what to do, which I didn't do when I was the chief judge, I certainly would do today, that's my recommendation, that it be people who add to these different viewpoints and different life experiences that go into when a person gets to the point where they're qualified to sit on the Court of Appeals. And keep adding things to the court that, again, reflect the well-being of all the people in our state.
It's a really interesting time for that. So we'll be watching for it, but we do have to leave it there. Former Chief Judge Jonathan Lippman, thank you so much. I appreciate your perspective.
Thank you, Dan. My delight, pleasure to talk to you.